welcome back to Downtime Activities. Welcome back to our Rebel Scum game. Our two Rebel Scum upstarts who are going on kind of their first mission, like actual mission for the rebellion, even though this is kind of just like a grassroots rebel cause that's trying to join some sort of rebellion at large. But what they've asked of you is to go and lift everybody's favorite smuggler, Dev Malior, from lockup, so that you can find out where he has stashed away a fairly large shipment of proton torpedoes to help outfit the rebellion. You know where it's at, and you two, along with your new buddy Scoos, have loaded up into your Vibro Ford F-150 and are heading towards the town on Jaresh, in which lies this lockup.
Well, I'm in the bed of the truck. I'm just listening to Scoos and Tobaku just, like, have a grand old time with each other.
Scoos just like, I love this song. Took my nerves, took my truck.
I could tell from the second I saw you use a good old boy.
Reaches into the bag and he pulls out a trucker cap. It's the Star Wars equivalent of a trucker cap, and then puts it on.
Puts on goggles.
Spacer goggles and a trucker cap.
You got to be incognito, you see.
Scoos has bounty on his head. I got to make it look like I'm not me. And you and Fremadayun Skuzanjo jam out in the front seat as you guys roll down the road. It's not more than an hour or two's ride from here to get. It's like kind of one of the larger towns that are like actual terrestrial towns, not floating sky markets on Jaresh. And you arrive there. What's your guys' plan of attack? What are you doing?
Well, we know when they're changing, when the outfit's changing guards. So it's at that point that there will be the least amount of resistance for us to get in, blow a hole in the wall, get Dev, and get out.
You know that you're probably... that the shift changes are like noon, midnight, basically. Yeah. And you know that it's early enough in the morning, you're probably an hour and a half away from noon. And then obviously 13 and a half from midnight. Because I've decided that this planet has the exact same rotation with its sun and has 24-hour days. Because
that's not convenient at all.
Or, I mean, you know what? Nerds. You ready for this?
No.
I bet you not Jarash, the actual city in the real world. Jaresh in Star Wars. On the wiki, I'm sure it tells you how long its days are because there's a lot of nerds out there.
Plot twist.
It's only night.
40 days.
What? This one doesn't tell you.
40 days of sun. For the sake of this, that's for the sake of this, we're going to say 20.
A lot of the planets on here, though, will tell you like how many moons, how many suns, what is the day, because there's some poor son of a nerf who is his whole job is like some guy who does the lore for Star Wars is like, hey, understudy, decide how long the days are on these 300 planets. Deal with it, nerd.
Nerd.
All right, you work for Star Wars, did you?
So, pretty much, we pull up, and I'll just get out and look at Tobaku and Scoos. Well, we have some time to kill before the shift change. We can just wait this out, and then for the right moment, Scoos, me and you are going to go up and use that nice little plant explosive there. Like I point at the planting one.
And I put it on the Imperial.
On the wall.
Yeah.
Which one?
On the wall to the inside the Imperial lockup.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just for I kind of I try to trick him and just be like, I'll point you to the wall where there will most likely be Imperials for you to blow up. Like to maybe get him to just.
He's gonna kind of look at you and he's gonna be like, "This Imperial's all right. He likes to blow up Imperials. That's my kind of Imperial."
Scoos I didn't even need to trick him.
He's just Scoos is a bro. He's all about it.
Grumble,
because I would at least know.
grumble, my nerves.
Because I would at least know like where they'd be planted and stuff like that.
You're really young. Oh, well, I guess you're a clone. Huh?
I'm a clone, so accelerated aging.
Oh, that's right. We're here with a teenager.
Technically, like a 30-year-old and a teenager's, or a
teenager in a 30-year-old's body.
There you go.
You got it.
Good old accelerated aging.
Yep, gotta love it.
Well, I reckon I don't trust his sympathies, but he probably knows what he's doing.
So, actually, out of here. So, are you know where the compound is? You won't know exactly what the layout is inside. Are you kind of just choosing a wall at random to blow open into this place, or what's the logic? What's the game plan? You know that he's somewhere locked up inside of this compound. It's not like compound might be this building, but it's not just like a one-room thing. Like it's big enough that you have a couple of options.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. That's kind of all what we can do. We don't have. Well, what's the likelihood that a random stormtrooper would have some kind of layout of the map on him?
It's very unlikely they'd have the layout as like a map on them. You'd probably have to get inside and either walk about a little bit and see stuff, or get to like a console. Like if you get to like a computer console, you could probably be able to tell better what exactly is going on.
Dang, we should have taken the robot.
Yeah, but somebody's like, I love Scoos. Well, I mean, pretty much.
Like, I can get in a computer system. And he kind of pulls up the welding torch and he's like,
I don't know about this. You'd be more inclined to break it than you would do anything with it.
I want you to succeed.
Thank you.
This is.
I can't rest his little green hand on your like side.
This is. Okay, this is what we can do. The moment we blow a hole in the wall, I will go grab a computer, get the layout. Do I have like a comm link on me from like my stuff?
Your helmet has an integrated comm link.
My helmet has one, but like
Yeah.
would I have like a extra one that?
If it's not on your character sheet, you don't got it.
Okay,
So
then
if you
I know.
didn't get that as part of your equipment,
Yeah, and then-
you wouldn't really have a need to carry one because you literally have one built in your helmet all the time.
Fair enough.
My comm link was in my truck.
Was it? That's fair.
It was a CB comm link. It was wired in.
Breaker 1, this is Joe McCool.
We got ourselves a convoy.
Okay. Well,
Scoos, this is Rubber Ducky.
okay, this is what we're gonna do. We'll break in. I'll hack the nearest console. I'll find out where Dev is. You two will be on going to grab him. Use that welding torch to break him out. All right.
Blow up the wall. Burn open the cell.
Yes.
Easy.
I reckon I grabbed that bastard Dev out of you.
I don't know what your beef is with him, but I have a feeling you're gonna shoot him later.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
So you guys are waiting for shift change and
Yeah.
choosing kind of a wall at random, blowing it open, and then you're looking for computers?
Yes.
Okay.
Will be the first thing I do.
All right. Go ahead. I'm going to have everyone roll me stealth. It'll just be an average stealth to approach this thing. Scoos is not trained in
One
stealth.
success, two advantages.
You said average?
Average stealth.
Average, dude.
Scoos, look at you go. Scoos gets 4 success, but threat. Because no one seems to notice him, but he is literally just like walking, kind of waddling, holding a explosive charge above his head, like kind of resting it on his head, walking towards this thing. So it's like, anything goes wrong, he's going to light up like a Christmas tree. That's the threat. But he's tiptoeing very quietly as he's doing it. And that was 1 success from you, and then what about you?
One success, two advantages.
All right, so you guys are very quiet. You approach up, you get to this outside wall. I'm going to have one of you, it'll be Jerry because I want a force die to be a part of this. Roll me a red, a yellow, and a force die. And just tell me what we get.
1 success, 1 threat, 1 triumph, 2 dark side.
1 triumph, 2 dark side. Interesting. You know what? A triumph, though. Specifically a triumph, but with threat and 2 dark side. Here's what happens. You guys get lucky. Too lucky. He runs up and he kind of plants this charge. You see him like kind of pulling in, like, it looks like this charge was at once just like a regular planted charge with like a timer on it, and it looks like he has like kind of tinkered with and changed it, but all it's really done is made it take longer to attach and turn the timer on. He's like disconnected part of it and had to like kind of put it back together up here. And he kind of messes with this a second. He's like he had a good idea for how he could augment it to make it better, but just made it less efficient. But he put some stuff together, and he's gonna run back away from this wall, and he's not as quiet running away from it. And he's put, you think, maybe a 3-second timer on this. Like, it's just far enough away it doesn't hurt him as this explodes a wall in. And with a triumph, you happen to plant this. Not just in the prisoner section, but on the wall of Dev Malior's cell. Unfortunately, the is on the wall of Dev Malior's cell. And I'm now going to roll to see just how bad he's hurt.
That's the most Dev Malior thing that happened.
And there's an explosion, and you see a familiar face sitting on his back in a kind of half covered in a pile of rubble. Dev Malior, who looks addled and damaged and beat up, but alive in this pile of rubble. And immediately after this explosion goes off, you hear like there's like an alarm goes off inside the building, and there's movement going on around this place.
How?
And he kind of like the dust kind of settles, and you see him kind of like, my heroes.
How damaged does he look?
He looks like he's if you shot him, he would probably die.
Okay, if you shot him, he would probably die.
Especially with a Wookiee bowcaster, you think that this guy could possibly die from one shot of a Wookiee bowcaster anyways, but he is beat to crap right now.
Okay, so he doesn't hear. Okay, I'll go up to him.
You walk in and kind of like, my heroes.
I'll pick him up.
Okay, and I'll pull him out of this rubble.
And I'll punch him.
Make a melee for me. Or not a melee, a brawl. And a brawl will be an average brawl.
Oh god, my cheeks hurt. I just have this mental image. He's leaning up against the wall, arms crossed.
Brawn, I think.
Arms crossed, like feet over each other. And he
Average
does like a...
average, yep.
1 success.
1 success. So it'll be basically like my heroes, and then you just deck him across the face, and with his basically with his soak, it's not going to knock him unconscious, but you clock him in the jaw, and he's like, now I deserved that. Let's get at it.
Okay.
As you kind of like ring his bell, you can tell that kind of addles him to where he like actually recognizes who you are, and he's like, fair. Get me out of here.
So at this point, like, I kind of ready my blaster carbine and just kind of like just start slowly backing up towards the truck with them. As
you guys start running towards the truck, and there are going to be some people coming around. We're going to have 1 round of stuff. Basically, like people coming in, and they're like, his cell opens, and people run to the hole, and there's going to be 3 stormtroopers that are going to make it to the hole.
Screws, throw a grenade!
Okay, and we're not going to do it in any order. I'm going to just let you guys tell me what you're doing in this moment, because you're going to be able to get to the truck.
Well, I'm gonna look at Scooz and be like, or can I can keep up with Scooz at this point, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
So, despite his protest, I reach in and I'll grab a grenade and chuck it into the cell.
All right, sounds good. I believe grenades use ranged light.
Okay. And average?
Yep.
3 success.
Okay.
This was Dev Malior.
He's like, hey! And he tosses this thing, and it lands right at their feet and explodes. And it seems to... is that... Damage is 8, so with 3 success, that's 11, so 5. It explodes and all 3 of the stormtroopers are going to die.
Okay.
So you toss this grenade and it explodes inside here. Some more of this crumbles in this spot, and that covers your guys' escape enough to get you onto this speeder, and onto this Vibro Ford F-150, and trying to drive out of here.
So I'm assuming Dev's in the bed with me at this point.
So what do you guys do? You guys get to the truck. You have a moment you have like just enough time to shout at each other.
Throw him into the bed.
Okay,
He throws him in the bed.
Rolls into it.
I jump in and just re-aim facing back behind us, just
all right.
like to.
Scooz starts running, kind of pulling his pants up, trying to keep the rocket launcher pistol stuck in his trousers. And you guys hop in the driver's seat, I assume. He drops in the passenger, and you guys floor it out of there. Unfortunately, this is a rusty Vibro Ford F-150 trying to make a speedy getaway. So you're going to start hauling out of town, but there's going to be ample time for 4 speeder bikes with scout riders on the back of them to start swinging around the outside of this and start moving towards you guys. Here's where I'm going to have everybody go ahead and roll some vigilance for me.
2 advantages.
2 advantage?
2 advantage.
2 advantage. Scooz will get that.
Scooz go first.
Scooz
Please
is
tell
going
me
first.
Yes.
Just tossing grenade.
Just drop. So
GTA style.
GTA style, just drops them as he drives. So this kicks off. And these guys come around. These are similar to speeder bikes you've experienced before. They're not ones that have like mounted blasters on the front of them. But these guys are pulling out blasters, like blaster pistols, and are kind of trying to get ready to fire them, chasing after you.
In the bed of the truck, do I have cover? Like do I have some sort of cover I can like kind of mount?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
This thing's kind of like a flatbed truck, so you're not going to have any cover from them. But they are shooting from moving speeder bikes. It's not going to be easy. Same with you shooting from the truck.
Okay.
So first up is Scooz with 2 success, 2 advantage.
Oh god.
So he is going to. You know what he's going to do? We're going to see.
Is he going to use his missile pistol?
He is not yet. That okay. No, actually.
Oh no!
I forgot to roll that. So that's 2 triumphs.
What? 2 triumphs? From this angle, it looked like a massive failure.
All the bad dice did nothing. He had 2 triumphs on the yellow dice. You can. Is it still up? Hopefully it's still up. This roll, he had the setback die. A success with 2 triumphs.
Oh
so
my
what
God.
he does is, you see, he is going to kind of like smack the back glass, and you're going to kind of to try and get your attention. You kind of look over your shoulder. He's like, "This is what it's for!" And you see him like take out one of that like weird hingey piece, and he just chucks it out the back window. And you see it kind of fly through the air and slide into the engine of one of these things. And it just kind of kicks up. There's an explosion in the engine and smoke comes out and it just swerves off and crashes.
Well, I'll be...
And he's like...
I like Scooz.
I'm starting to like Scooz more and more now.
And now it's you 2. They only got 1 advantage on theirs. So it's you guys before the scout troopers. You can choose which order you go.
I say you go first because you getting us some distance is better than me trying to kill some of them.
You think that with speeder bikes versus a rusty Vibro Ford F-150, it's going to be hard to create distance by speed.
Right.
But you can try and maneuver in a way similar to previous encounters where, like, you're maneuvering through hard to maneuver through obstacles and giving them a chance of, like, crashing.
I will do that.
Kind of defensive driving, as it were. Or aggressive defensive driving?
Offensive driving?
Offensive driving? I find driving very offensive.
I will try to drive through things that are...
So give me an average piloting planetary.
Intergalactic planetary.
Intergalactic planetary.
4 advantages.
So we'll say that with 4 advantages, you maneuver through this in a way that makes it's not like it's necessarily hard to follow, but it imposes lots of stuff in the way and is going to make their combat checks harder.
Okay.
They're like you're maneuvering with. They have to like focus more on driving than on blasting. So it'll add setback dice to them.
Okay.
And then what are you doing?
How many of them are left?
3.
So
there's 4 bikes after you. Stu seems to have somehow miraculously took care of one of them.
I'm gonna take aim at one of them and just try to shoot the driver off.
Okay.
So that's the blue die, and since we're moving, was that 3 purple? Is that a hard or average?
It'll still be average, but you will have 2 setback dice from shooting while in this high-speed chase with the coverage of him maneuvering through this stuff.
2 success, 1 threat.
Okay. Suffer a strain. That's what the threat's going to do to you. You'll take 1 strain. But it's just from like having to like strain and like hold yourself in position to like have a stable platform. But that was how much damage?
It's a 9er on that blaster carbine.
So it blasts 9 plus 2 success, right? Or 1 success? 2 success? 2. Okay. It hits and kills one of the drivers, and their bike swerves off and crashes and explodes. Now there's just 2 of these following you guys. They're both going to make some shooting checks. They're going to be at you guys in the back because that's who they can see. Well, actually, one's going to try and a little harder shot on you because you're driving. And then one's going to try and shoot you. So we'll start with the one shooting at you.
Yeah, they can't shoot at Dev. Dev's already on death's door.
Dev's like, he looks like a sack of potatoes in the corner of the truck. Like he's just slumped over in there from where he got thrown. And he's just kind of curled in a ball trying to survive this. They're going to have the 2 setback dice as well. So this first one is coming at you. And that's a failure, but with 4 advantage. So he's going to use that advantage to help his buddy and himself on his next check, which his friend will get a blue, but it is a harder check because he's trying to shoot you through the glass. A failure and a threat. So you have 1 threat, which you can't really spend on anything valuable. So these guys both fire, and the blast kind of hit the truck, but they don't seem to do anything. And
now back to Scoos.
And then it's back to Scoos. He's going to dig through his bag again, and we'll see what he can come up with.
Will Scoos finally trust the clone trooper and give him a grenade?
Like, he only has a couple of explosives. This is not a well-armed rebel cell, and the explosives are hard to come by.
Yeah.
That's why he threw a random piece of junk and got stupid lucky.
I would have laughed had he like had that fail and it just like bounced off his head and just like.
Well, if it's like he got like a bad roll, he probably thrown out the window and it would have just swerved around and like hit you or Dev in the head and then in the back of it. I don't think he's gonna explode anything because he's literally got like 2 explosives left. Let's see what he thinks. Okay. He's going just to reach into this bag and he's going to pull out a light blaster pistol and he's going to try and shoot back at them. Straight nothing. So he kind of like pops his head out the window and like reaches out with the blaster pistol and it's like swinging around like crazy and he just shoots and it kind of goes wide and high and doesn't even go near them. And then from him, it is
to us. Well, since you're defensive driving, I'll go first this round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go and take a shot. It'll be the same roll. It'll be 1 less black die for this round. You can click on the dice too on that app and it takes them away.
Oh, I did not know that. All right. Because I'm aiming again at the next one. So 3 success, 1 threat.
All right. Take another strain, I guess, and you blast and kill another one. There's only 1 bike on your guy's tail now. What are you doing? Are you going to try the more defensive driving? Aggressive defensive driving?
No, I think I'm gonna poke out the window.
While driving?
Stick the window.
Well, how open are we? We're like on.
You're in like the rough right now because you steered into that to try and mess these guys up.
Okay, never mind. I'll just keep driving.
Okay, go ahead and give me another average piloting planetary.
1 success, 2 advantage.
I'm gonna say that well, let's see. I'm gonna make him have to make a roll doing this too now, to see.
Until he completely butchers it and just hits something.
2 failures. So Here's what it's going to be. You're, like, swerving around, and you get to where, like, it's in a pretty straight column of trees on either side to where you think not even a bike could really swerve either direction. And so you brake check him. You kind of stop for a second, and this bike kind of like, he like tries to pull back, but he ends up crashing into the back of the truck and kind of warping the front of his bike, and then you take off again, and it seems like his bike is sputtering and stopping there, and it seems like he's having to mess with it and try and get it to run again. Because while Vibro Ford F-150s are not the fastest, they are sturdy, made well. Made right here and right here.
Since he's going to be focusing on that, can I just use this as a moment to just pick him off now?
He will get his turn first. So you kill this bike. He's going to stop. He's going to make. He's going to use his action though to try and make a mechanics check to get this working. And you see he's sitting there and he's messing with this, and you see like some like kind of steam flies out of it. It seems like he's having issues getting this bike up and running again. But then it will be your buddy Scoos first is going to try and take his shot. Those are not green. Those are purple. He misses very bad again. And from there, it'll be you guys.
Is it still a black die?
There is still a black die, and it's actually upped one more purple because he's further away now.
Okay. 3 success.
All right, he's like, and then you just blast him while he's sitting there trying to get this bike up and running again to catch up with you guys. And you have got them off your tail and are on the move, getting away.
Yes.
Taking her home.
I just put my blaster back on my back and just sit down next to Dev, who's probably still curled up in a ball.
He's like, "You get him?"
Yeah, they're dead.
You see him wipe a little blood off his nose from where he just got sucker punched. Also wipe some blood off from his ears where he just got his brain got concussed by you guys blowing his cell open.
I can't believe how lucky we got with that.
How lucky and unlucky at the same time. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing?
We're rescuing your dumbass.
Why?
Because the farmers who paid you to get some items off-world are still expecting one of those shipments.
Oh. Yeah, you want the rockets, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
I reckon he owes me something too.
I stop him. I'm like, choose your next words wisely, because you may be getting thrown off of this.
Hey, whoa. Look. Fellas, buddies. Come on. Calm down here.
First of all, I'm not your buddy. I don't know who you are.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
You're right. Introductions are in order. Dev Malior, pleasure to meet you. And you are? Good to know. Toko.
You rest your hands there, Mr. Malior.
Look, now I can fix all of these problems. Always. Look, I'm a man of means. However, my means are unfortunately not currently at my disposal. You want paid. I want to make right on our deal. I hate how things ended up. I want to get you your money. You all want rockets. I want to end that deal. You know, I gotta. It's like. And he looks at you guys like, I mean, come on, it's me. And he's like, I've got a reputation to uphold here.
It's clearly not a strong one.
He says, I can get you everything you need. I just got to get to my ship. Now, those rockets, they're in my smuggling compartment. Very hard to find, very big. Added it myself. The problem is that the belly is currently... Well, they locked it up after they locked me up. But if we can get to it, get it loose...
You best be quiet, and I'm not at liberties to help you with anything right now. And I doubt my companion in the driver's seat is going to be willing to help you as well. You best just wait until we get back to where we're at going.
Well, I mean, you guys are in charge here. I just, if you wanted to get those to bring back, I can show you where it's at. It's just,
We weren't supposed to bring it back with you. You're supposed to bring you.
Were we?
I don't remember. I'm just lying through my teeth.
They seemed a lot more interested in his shipment than him. Yeah. He's not a rebel. He's not someone that...
Yeah, but...
They didn't even really care if you saved him. They just wanted to make sure they got the information of where the torpedoes were.
Well, and he's going to give it to him, because I ain't... Because... So we already did this, and we ain't turned back.
Where's it at? Bev.
They got like a bolt down on it to keep it from getting airborne, I assume, because they always do that. But there's a local spot nearby here. Empire took over. It was a junkyard. They're using it to lock up the ships that they don't want getting airborne now. Mine is housed there. You won't be able to miss her. I mean, he does that like everyone knows kind of look. He's like, everyone has heard of the Dubak's belly, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Fastest ship in the galaxy.
Ever.
Go ahead and make me a knowledge outer rim to see if you've heard of the Dubak's belly.
Can I do a knowledge to see if I've even heard of Dev?
You can do a knowledge outer rim for that as well. We'll start with the ship.
Average, you said?
Yep, knowledge outer rim for the Dubak's
nothing.
belly. You've heard nothing.
All right, and I'll do one more for outer rim for Dev. Have I ever heard of him?
1 success, 1 threat.
1 success on the if I've heard of Dev.
1 success. With 1 success. The only thing you've heard of Dev is what you've heard since you got a job to go save him. With 1 success on the Dubak's belly and 1 threat. Clearly this guy thinks he's a bigger deal than he is. You have never heard of his ship.
And
you have not heard of Dev and you have not heard of the Dubak's belly.
I just kind of look at him and just be like, I believe I've heard of a ship that's made the Kessel Run in 2 parsecs. Can it do that?
I think it could make it in half a parsec. The Dubak's belly's the fastest ship in the galaxy, hands down.
Grumble.
Well, you're driving, Tobaku. Go where you go.
I take a sharp turn to where he wants to go, just so that he gets.
You know what? You go ahead and roll me a average athletics, and I will make him do the same.
2 success, 3 threats, 1 triumph.
You do great. He falls over onto you, but you're able to react quick enough that you kind of just like shrug him aside and just tumbles around in the back of this, sadly. Like a turtle on its back. He tumbles around here for longer than he should before he's able to get himself back on his feet.
Alright, we go towards the ship, I guess. So at least I'm driving.
Alright.
Yeah, you're driving. And again, I'm not...
When he finally gets himself up, he's like, you're going to want to hang her right up there. Oh. Man, that was a sharp turn. And you guys swerve around and eventually get outside of what looks like a decent-sized junkyard. But you can clearly tell that inside of it there's a couple of ships that are impounded. And from a distance you can see a couple of ships there. And you can also see there is like an Imperial presence kind of patrolling around the outside of here.
Well, this is gonna be a lot harder.
Unless you roll stupid lucky and give Dev a concussion again.
We don't have any more explosives to do that. Well, we have 2, but I doubt Scoos would be willing to part with those right away.
Now, Div, which one's yours?
The Dubak's belly. You're yanking my chain here, right? You're yanking my vibro chain.
You either tell me which one your ship is, or I'm stunning you right now.
Oh, okay, sir. Yes, sir. The Dubak's belly, right there. And he points. There's like 5 ships here, and he points to the one that's like off to the like the second to the left. And if you want to look up GHTROC 720 light freighter, you can see what his ship looks like. The Dubak's belly.
The Dubak's belly.
The Dubak's belly.
It's the fastest ship in the galaxy.
Fastest ship in the galaxy.
So it's this.
You would know that at least stock. This is certainly not the fastest ship in the galaxy.
Well, how I have internet here is very surprising. Oh, I guess I've... Wow. So yeah, that's it.
You know, this is not a particularly fast or agile ship. It's a light freighter. It's a small freighter ship. Similar to a Millennium Falcon in size.
Mm-hmm. Now, would it be easier to just load up the rockets onto the truck?
Yeah, he's gonna want his ship though. That's the problem.
I don't care what he wants.
Look, guys, there's a lot of rockets in there. It's gonna be a couple truckloads unless you're securing the whole facility. I think we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to give my baby some free wings once again.
Is there a Can I roll like a perception to see how many guards that I can tell at least right away?
Average percent.
2 success, 1 advantage.
2 success, 1 advantage. There is like a decent patrol. You think that you can't get like a total because it's a fairly decent sized facility, but you can count at least 10 that are on like this wall here, arranged in different spots. Some are like most are just kind of at like a small checkpoint that's at the entrance to this place. A couple are patrolling around the outside.
Okay. Can I do another one to see if there's like a wall somewhere where we can climb to get over, or at least?
I'll let you use the same one. There's definitely like it's got a fence around the outside. It's got like the equivalent of like a barbed wire top, chain link fence. But you think that you could, with the arc cutter that your buddy's got, you could definitely cut a hole inside of this fence, or you could probably climb around the outside. It's just like how quietly and quickly you're able to do it. Depends on some checks.
Hey, look at Scooz. Scooz. You still have that arc welder?
She's like, goes it back and I'm just, yeah? Why are you stressing me out, man?
Well, I look at her. I don't know what she threw back there, but it worked.
It was the, I don't know what that was.
It was a component of some sort. Either way. Okay. Scooz, I'm going to need you to trust me. I'm going to need your arc welder. Dev, you're coming with me.
He's like, well, I'm happy to. Yes, sir.
Dev, you have no choice. You're coming with me. Scooz and Tovaku, we're going to need a bit of a distraction.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion?
Negotiation.
And add a boost die to it, because he likes the idea of getting to be a part of a distraction.
Oh, shit. Hang on.
It'll be average, but with the boost die.
Hang on. I keep... Yeah, negotiation. 1 success, 1 advantage.
He's like, you take care of her. And he's going to pull the arc welder out and hand it to you.
Okay, and I put it in my bag. Okay. You two, we're at a perfect incline where you can at least draw their attention, but still make a getaway to the truck once we're in. Dev, when we're in there, you do exactly as I say. I'm gonna free your ship from the bolt, and we're gonna take off in it and go back to their location. And if I smell anything funny, I won't hesitate to shoot you.
I will be the scent of a flower. I will be scentless. I will be.
I don't need the metaphors. I get it.
You got it, boss.
Dobaku, we good with this plan?
Yeah, I reckon we can conjure some up.
All right. Wait till we get to the fence, and then start your distraction. Whatever you do, I don't care. Just draw attention towards you guys, or at least in this vicinity. All right.
Okay. So you kind of try and sneak around that side. I'm going to need a stealth from you and a stealth from Dev, because he is coming with you.
1 failure, 1 triumph.
1 failure, 1 triumph. Dev actually gets 2 successes. Usually when Dev has rolls that should have a good chance of doing well at, he does abysmal at them. But he actually does well. So, that means that you're, we'll say with the triumph, you are not being particularly quiet, but You can definitely hear what sounds like some sort of like trash compactor, like crusher device.
So it's kind of
to
masking,
go off, and it happens to mask you. And along with him moving quietly, like somebody maybe like kind of hears something over there, but by the time they get around to check, you get lucky and no one notices you.
Okay.
As they kind of move up and start going towards that, Scoos is gonna look at you and be like, "So what we doing?"
You ever
affect an Irishman?
Never affected
everybody tune in like 2 years when we start that stuff.
When we make our Western movie. Our spaghetti Western.
Yeah. So, I ask him, you ever get hammered and shoot womp rats?
Like, most days.
Well, you'll be a natural. So my plan is to be especially rednecky.
Okay.
Become woohoo! Shooting.
Are you guys gonna like drive by and do that, or are you doing it from the hill?
We'll just like we're in plain sight.
Okay.
Like we're just like wherever plain sight the entrances or whatever. Like we just
start doing the most.
We just start doing redneck shit.
So are you trying to shoot them, or are you trying to shoot in a way that draws their attention?
One that draws their attention.
Okay. I will have you go ahead and roll me a deception or a coercion. Whichever you prefer.
Both are bad. Both are bad.
It'll be average.
Deception or coercion. Well, I'd probably use that. Okay. Average, you see.
Yep.
Oh no!
Through failure.
You go out there. Don't worry, Scoo's got your back. You go out there, and what is it that you're doing to try and draw their attention? And why does it not work? You tell me that.
Well, they're like junk rats out in this scrapyard. There's something of that sort.
Okay.
We're just going out there. We're just starting to shoot them.
You start shooting at them, and you can see that there's like these guys like look and they see you like shooting, like kind of like aiming and shooting at these like little rats that are kind of on the outskirts there. And you see them kind of like look at each other, like the stormtroopers like look at each other and be confused. And then Scoos kind of walks up behind you, and he's like, and he just pulls out his little pistol from his belt and aims at the front gate and fires it.
I like Scoos.
Can Scoos become our permanent companion?
I'm definitely doing
A success, 2 threats, and a triumph. So he doesn't hit any of them. But you see he's like comes up, he's like, up yours! And he shoots his rocket, and you see the front gate just explode. And these guys like duck down as this explodes. They're like, get him! And these guys just they're like, stop right there! And there's a big noise and a lot of people moving your guys' way. Cut back to the fence.
Well, looks like we got our distraction. I quickly pull up the arc welder, just start trying to cut a hole so we could get in.
Go and give me an easy mechanics check. It's more about how quietly and quickly you do it. You can definitely use an arc welder to cut a hole in this thing.
One advantage.
So it's not particularly quiet, but it is quick. And it seems like the distraction is enough that the quiet doesn't matter too much. And you're able to carve pretty quickly a thing and kind of shoulder check it open.
Okay. Now, is it bolted down or is it just kind of there?
It has one of those lock things that are on one of the landing gears that you think would have to would probably have to be deactivated to to let it fly away.
I'm gonna look quickly for a console somewhere that I can.
The console's built onto the locking mechanism on the boot.
I'm gonna go over. Okay. I look at Dev. Get onto your ship. Start prepping it for takeoff. I'm gonna get the boot off. Do not leave until I'm on there.
You got it, boss. And you see him he starts running towards this thing. I'm gonna have you guys both roll me easy stealths because you have quite the distraction going.
3 success, 1 threat. Did he fail?
You see Dev tiptoes very sneakily and he gets to the edge of this thing and he's like, Daddy's home! And he starts running up this and you're like, Hey, what was that? From the front gate. But with his one failure, 4 advantages, they don't seem... The ones who notice are opposite of the ship of you, so they don't seem to notice you.
Okay.
They notice him run onto this and start to run their way. So you're not going to be under duress. You'll have a second to try and get this done. It'll be a computer's check. We'll make it an average computer's check to use this terminal. I'm going to give you a boost because it's something that's like requires like an imperial passcode and one that like you would have some knowledge of. So you're like well suited to do this.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a blue die.
A blue die, an extra blue.
2 failures, 2 advantages.
You try and hack this thing, and it doesn't seem like you have the right clearance to get it to unattach. However, you're pretty sure that you could try and instead like basically use mechanics to detach it in a very manual way instead of a computer way. It will be an average one. You won't get the boost die, though, on this mechanics check. You have an arc cutter.
Yeah.
Go ahead and upgrade one of your greens. Do an upgrade because of the arc welder.
Okay.
Okay.
2 success, 2 threats.
Okay. It's loud because you're using the arc welder, but you are able to like and like you see kind of pops loose from this lock. And you go up and you can see there's 2 of these stormtroopers running towards you. They notice the sparks from that flying. And you can hear kind of... And it's like a...
It's almost like the starter's bad, so it's
But the ship is kicking on. The ramp is still down.
It's at this point, like, I draw my... Let's see, I'm trying to think what would be quicker at this point. I draw my hand blaster, because I can at least quickly just pull it out, and I'll take fire at one of them.
Okay, go ahead. You can go ahead and... We won't roll initiative. I'm going to have you shoot a shot at them.
And for the sake of the panic, I won't aim on this one.
And you have to draw a weapon.
Yeah,
That's your maneuver, so you can't aim anyways. And it'll be 2 purple. They're at medium range.
3 success, 2 advantages.
All right. What's the blaster pistol?
7.
7? That's 10. That's exactly enough with 3 success. So you blast and kill one of them. The other one is going to get 1 shot at you before you get on board. But he misses. He misses with some advantage, but the advantage doesn't really play in here. So he blasts, and it goes kind of wide as you like grab the side swing and you start running up this thing.
Damn, turn it! Damn, go, go, go!
Punching it! And you see this thing start rising up, and he starts to take off. Cut back to this guy's... We gotta go! Back in his waistband, and the 2 of you guys, I assume, start running towards the truck.
go towards the truck.
You guys run over to the truck. You go ahead and give me a piloting planetary to see how quickly you're able to get out of here as these guys move up to try and stop you. They are moving up on foot. They don't seem to be... There's not like vehicles that they're riding or anything at the moment.
No, like setback or...
No.
No purples?
Nope.
Two successes, 3 advantages.
2 success, 3 advantage. You are flying. You pop into this thing super quickly, and you swerve out and out of there, and like they don't even have enough a good enough chance to like get up behind you to get any shots at you. You're just out of there. Real quickly. However, this thing kind of pops and flies, and then as it's flying away, you're kind of like walking up on this thing, like catching your breath, and the ramp's like kind of slowly starting to close up now. But you hear a familiar sound behind you as this starts to close, and it's of a TIE fighter taking flight from this yard and getting in behind you guys.
Son of a bit. Dad, does this thing have blasters?
We got company!
Just completely overshadows me.
Just interrupts.
Does this thing have... We got company! We don't have time for small talk! Get on the turns!
I'll get on the turn.
This thing has a dorsal, like a kind of a top-mounted turret on it.
Uh-huh.
And this thing starts flying in behind you. Go ahead, and it'll be gunnery to try and shoot at this thing.
Average or hard?
It'll be average.
1 failure, 2 advantages.
You kind of blast back at this thing, and it kind of maneuvers around to where it doesn't seem to get a solid hit, but it does kind of set it off to where it's kind of falls behind a little bit, but then it guns it and is trying to catch back up to you guys. the pilot of it is going to try and fire at you guys.
Since I have advantages, can I put a setback die on that? Or
Sure.
I'll
use
put a setback on that one.
He blasts, and it doesn't seem to get through the shields. And Dev's like, hold on! And he's going to try and do some evasive maneuvers, and he's going to try and barrel roll. Because that's a good trick. And he is okay at piloting. He's no Han Solo at 1 failure. Okay. It really just kind of makes you sick to your stomach, but it seems like this is a straight race, and he's just spinning in a circle now. So it doesn't really do anything.
It's counterintuitive.
It's very counterintuitive. But then it'll go back to you with another
another
gunnery check if this thing tries to chase you down.
Nothing.
Straight nothing.
Straight nothing.
Okay. Another miss. 1 second. And you can see this like ship just spinning, a TIE fighter flying straight behind it's blasting. And he is going to take another shot at you guys. Failure to threat. So he misses again pretty bad. And Dev is going to kind of stop the spin and kind of gives bearings, and he's going to try and swerve this ship down towards you in the truck.
Because that's smart.
We got to pick him up at some point. Might as well do it while a TIE fighter's chasing us. So he's going to swerve down and start heading towards that, but you guys are still a little distance away. He starts to close that distance, though, and then he'll go back to you.
Okay, I'll do another shot. One threat.
You fire, and you miss. And you fire, and you miss.
Then I get sad, and I'm going to eat a popsicle. Then I'm going to pass out.
Ooh. And then this thing kind of combines like, and you see it kind of hits, and there's like a shake throughout the ship, and he's like, get this thing off of us!
Stop flying like an idiot!
Alright, you got it! What's another good trick? I got you! Barrel roll! And he's gonna try and do some more evasive maneuvers.
Barrel roll Malio.
He is successful this time, so he does some evasive maneuvers. It'll make your combat check harder, but it will also make the combat check from this guy harder.
Okay.
Because you're flying like madmen. So
he's flying like a madman.
So go ahead and we'll. Let me see here. Do I have that little cheat sheet up still? I'd be really smart if I did, but I'm not known for my smarts. Hey, I do still have it up. Good.
Hey, look at that.
I just need to see if it's a setback die or upgrading it when he does evasive maneuvers.
I assume it would be a setback die.
2 red for all attacks made against the ship. Also, so one of those purples becomes a red. At this point, it is just 2 purple. As he's closed the distance on you guys.
Okay.
He's closed the distance.
He's
One failure, one threat. I can't.
You cannot. He is. It's like you're just like. This thing. It seems like it's poorly mounted on this ship to begin with, and this barrel roll is not helping you as it's spinning around. You see the ship kind of swerve a second and then start to spin again as this TIE fighter is trying to chase behind it. The TIE fighter will go ahead and make a shot here. The evasive maneuvers will make it harder for the TIE fighter. Good. 3 failure. So it misses pretty horribly. It is then back to Dev. I mean, we didn't really have a roll initiative. It's kind of loose initiative for this, but that's fine. This thing does not... You just gotta hit it.
I know, I just have to hit it once and it'd be fine, but goddamn, I can't get stable enough to hit it.
Dev is gonna stabilize it for a second, and he is going to try. He's like, "We gotta end this!" And he is going to try and stay on target. So he's going to try and do a sudden upturn, face this ship to give you a really clear shot on it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make him roll for it though because he's been being shit. 2 success. So you'll get to upgrade 1 green to a yellow, and that red goes back to a purple.
Okay.
That being said, this TIE fighter will get to do the same on its attack because he's like nose to nose with this thing. So you'll get a good shot on it, and then they'll get a good shot on you. And you're up. It'll be 2 perps.
All right, good. Big money, big money. 3 success, 2 threats.
All right, 3 success, 2 threat. It seems like this maneuver does kind of like strain the system of this ship a little bit. But with that turret, 3 success, plus that turret's damage is 5. That is 8, which with 2 armor is reduced to 6, which with 6 hull trauma threshold is exactly enough. As he kind of swerves and turns and goes head on, and you blast in this thing, it hits dead center in the cockpit, and this thing explodes.
I just... Dev, if I don't,
shooting, buddy!
if I don't shoot him by the end of this, oh god.
And he's gonna kind of turn this thing down and fly down towards the truck. And I guess you could take the truck with you just to drop it back off because they can't really chase you anymore. They only had 1 TIE fighter, so he'll kind of fly low with the truck, and you guys can cruise back to the rebel hideaway.
All right,
Might as well keep the truck.
Might as well not leave it because you did a good job of getting away.
Yeah. You two did exactly as we planned.
Yes.
Exactly.
All according to plan. And you guys maneuver your way and get... it takes a little bit of time, but you're able to get back there. And he lands a little bit... there's a kind of clearing near these buildings that he's able to land in. And he's going to... After he lands, he'll come back to you and be like, "Took you long enough, but that was some fine shooting. Fine shooting. You never said your name."
I'm just gonna stare at him. I'm not gonna.
I'm like, well, let's go to the smuggling compartment. And he goes down, and there is like, you can tell that the one redeeming quality that this ship has, like the inside of this ship has like living quarters and stuff. It is 100% bachelor pad inside of here. Like it's not that well taken care of. But the smuggling compartments, you would not know they were there if he didn't point them out to you. And it seems like there's a fairly sizable like smuggling hold on board this ship, and you can see multiple like large crates that are going to be full of these proton torpedoes.
All right. Well, I mean, I just walk up to Tobaku and Scoos. Well, we better go get your friends and tell them we might have to hightail out of here. We made a lot of noise back there.
They are going to respond to a ship landing nearby, and they'll come. You pull the truck up, and they're going to come with a couple other speeders, and they'll start unloading this and starting to haul it over to their ship to get it off world. And Dev is going to help show them where it is and help them get it up and off of his ship happily. And he's going to... you see him like walk over to Taiso Rabgul, the guy who was kind of the leader here, Antenna guy. And he's like... And they seem to be having a conversation while this is going.
I just shake my head because I'm just like, God, this how we got out of this, I don't know. He's such a bad pilot.
And you can see like him doing the like talking, and you see Taiso just like looking at him very uninterested, and you see Taiso like poke him in the chest and say something like with quite a bit of resolve, and he pats him on the shoulder. He's like you see him walking away like as he starts walking back towards his ship. He's like, "Thanks again for the rest of you guys. Could have done without the explosion, but appreciate ya."
Now, Div,
He's like, "Yeah."
reckon you owe me
700 crits.
you owe me something.
Of course, I promised to make it right, and I'm nothing if not a man of my word. What was it? 1,500 credits I owed you, right? For those furs?
I wish I actually wrote that down so I don't remember.
Go ahead and roll me an average intelligence.
Dang it. Why didn't I read?
It'll test your memory, your character's memory. You did have quite the debacle after he did make that agreement with you.
That's just an intellect.
It's straight intellect.
Okay.
But it'll be 2 perps.
One advantage, one failure.
You can't remember what it is, but you remember 1,500 is probably pretty close to what they were worth?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I didn't write it down.
You can't, you're like, God, you're like, I don't remember what the number was. I feel like I got the number beat out of me in white laminate boots on my face.
They beat me to death.
How could I remember?
Well, I got better.
I reckon you owe me a little bit more for the trouble I went through.
It's gonna be like, actually, go ahead and roll me a average negotiation. Add a blue to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or a coercion if you're doing that in a threatening way. Could be a coercion.
I feel like I probably
If you're like, no, I think you owe me more. If it's like, now, Dev, you owe me a little more, something a little more than that.
Yeah, we're doing coercion with a blue. 2 successes, 1 advantage.
He'll be like, well, no. To be honest with you, the conversation I just had with a friend back there, I was expecting to have my pockets a little more aligned from my time here than I am leaving with. I don't know how much more I could offer you in that department. Is there anything else? Or, of course, I could offer you the most valuable thing of all. I could owe you a favor. You could have a favor owed to you by Dev Malior, the captain of the Dewback's Belly. Something worth its weight in credits.
It's at this point I chime in, or Badger chimes in. Well, I reckon you owe me something for helping getting you out of there, so I will take that favor, and you give him whatever is left in your pockets.
That's kind of what I got, is what I'm offering you as far as credits.
Okay, I walk up and I'm like, I just stick out my hand.
Well, I don't have them all on me. I'll give you what I got. And you see he hands you like, what's probably like 30-some credits. And he's like, I gotta get the credits. They're on board the ship. You can come with me. I'm not trying to make a run for it. You can come with me.
I pull out the hand blaster and I make sure he notices.
We fall over there.
And you see he goes into the cockpit and you see him kind of like hammer fist twice against one panel and the thing kind of falls over and he digs out credits and in the total it will be 1,500 credits that you can add.
My hand
he'll give
is
to you.
just been out
Followed
this whole
him by-
time.
and he will give you the 1,500 credits total.
I count it. Well, I reckon one more thing will make it square. That is punch for the face.
Go ahead and give me one more easy brawl.
So you got
Or average
15,
brawl,
you got
excuse me,
1,500
average
credits, and I have a favor from Dev. So this all works out.
And he's going to be like, well, first.
3 successes.
You're just dead. That's fair. And then he'll just you say like, you have 1,500 credits and I have and he's like, you see he kind of like turns to you like he's like, no wait, like in the gesture of like, wait a minute, I didn't make any agreement with you, but he kind of like, worth much more than the credits that favor is that you've got.
Yeah, and you'll be sure to remember this look next time.
You both you have very particular looks. I'll recognize you anywhere I see you. We square?
We're square.
I just turn around. Like, I'm just like, I got everything I need. I don't need any more.
It's always the scruffy, hairy ones.
Now. I like the idea that Chewbacca beat him up at one point.
Let's just say you're not the first hairy person to beat up Dev Mallion, that's for sure.
Alright, I tossed 250 credits to Scoos.
Okay.
Because I like him.
He catches him, he's like, yeah!
Not so good. This
He's
will
holding
do.
like 250 loose credits in his hands, and he just opens the backpack and drops it. They're not in the past, they're just loose mixed in with everything else. And he pulls it onto his back.
And I just kind of stare at
Badger.
and I toss him 250 credits.
Alright, you can add 250 credits. Meaning you can add a total of 1,000.
I see. I did that on purpose, because now all I have to do is put a 1 in
one.
front of my credit total.
It seems like generosity, but it's really just being an RPG player. And with this, you start loading it onto the ship. Your new fearless leader, Taiso Rabgul, says, Bypass has gotten things up and running on here. I think, excuse me, it's probably in our best interest that we get off world as soon as possible. I don't have... I wish I had more of a plan, to be honest with you here. There's quite the blockade out there, and we got to get off world. They're already going to be tightening things down with what happened today, but hopefully we're able to get off quickly enough and in an unrecognized ship. I have clearance codes. They're old, but they might get us through, but it's the best I've got.
Can I... Oh, God. I'm trying to think of like a knowledge thing that I can do.
I'd let you use a knowledge warfare.
Yeah, because I mean, I was on the ship when they started the blockade, so I could have an idea on like right here's like the weakness, or there's not anything.
Make an average knowledge warfare. Give yourself a boost because of just how recently you've been on board. One of literally the ship that is flagging down these ships as they leave and questioning them.
We still have 2 light side points.
You do?
We do. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of them.
All right.
Just
flip it, and you can upgrade one of those greens to a yellow.
All right, here we go. 1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. You can tell that this code is old and old enough that it would raise suspicion, but you think that there's one that you remember that's more recent that you think would probably be better than this one. You don't know if it'll be so much as like they'll be like, oh, yep, go right ahead, but it's one that seems like it would draw less suspicion and be more recent at the very least.
I kind of just relay this to my current person who's not killing me, trying to kill me at the moment.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion with it'll be an easy persuasion or easy negotiation.
Okay. 2 success, 2 threats.
It's going to be like, look, you seem to be on the up and up. I have a hard time trusting your code, but I don't think with what's gone on that you would sabotage, and you're going to be on board this ship, so it'd be self-sabotage. We'll try it, but better not come back to bite us.
Compared to your code, they would raid the ship. And not only would you lose everything, everybody would get wiped out.
Well, you already said he'd use it.
Yeah. I'm just relaying to him like the difference between my code being sketchy versus his code. Exactly. At least with mine, there's less chance of...
We'll use it. We'll use it. I think it's our best bet. All right, everybody. Load up. We got to get off this rock. And everyone starts to gather together. You guys, I assume, are loading onto this transport.
I have no choice. I'll get shot. So
everyone loads into it. The shipment is loaded in, and there's not like a smuggling compartment really on board this ship. They kind of put it to the back, and there's some other crates and stuff that have more reasonable goods in between the back of that and it. And the ship will get up and start heading up into space. You guys start moving out and then are starting to approach. I mean, unless there's anything you guys are wanting to do or change about this, they're up and they're flying towards this blockade. I assume that you're at least up in the like cockpit to get this code off. Are you up there as well? You can be.
Well, I'm up there, and I kind of have my hand on the pilot ready to push him out so I could take over the piloting just in case we need to. So,
okay, and you kind of starts cruising up here, and then there's a like vessel. Go ahead and transmit clearance code. This is the Imperial Control, and it's the code.
Do I recognize the voice?
It sounds not really, but
okay.
you know that like it's probably one of the naval officer recruits that are doing these calls, so it's not people that were like underneath you.
Okay.
These are hides guys.
Okay.
And he transmits your code, and we're going to roll something here.
Oh shit.
He says, "The threat to dark side."
Oh shit.
He says, "Everything seems to check out, vessel. However, due to the size of your vessel and the possibility of how many people are on board, we've had a recent breakout from an Imperial confine on planet. We will need to search your craft to ensure that this fugitive is not on board. So long as we don't find him, you will be free to go. Go ahead and calm those thrusters. A shuttle will be boarding shortly. And with that, that's where I think we will end this episode of the Rebel Scum as a shuttle moves to board.
Wow,
Thank you for watching, everybody, and we'll see how these schmuckos get themselves out of it next time.